Hello, this is Dr. Karen Becker, and today we're going to discuss digestive health. Dogs and cats naturally don't produce all of the enzymes they need to process their food. Their pancreas, which is the organ that secretes amylase to process carbohydrates. Dogs and cats don't produce a lot of amylase because their natural evolutionary diet is not that of carbohydrates, but they do produce some. They produce some lipase to process fats and proteases to process protein. Dogs and cats both, pancreases, cannot secrete enough digestive enzymes to effectively process their food. They were actually designed to get some of the supplemental enzymes from the foods that they ate. So when you watch kitties kill mice, they'll eat the whole mouse, including the animal's digestive tract. When you watch wolves and coyotes hunt and kill animals, they actually eat some of the entrails, the guts, to meet their digestive enzyme requirement. We don't feed our dogs or cats those entrails, so most dogs in the United States are enzyme deficient. What that translates into is low-grade recurrent digestive issues. So how the process is supposed to work is this. Dogs and cats consume a meal. The food is held in the stomach for an acid bath. So hydrochloric acid mixes with the food and gives the protein a pre-digestion to help facilitate the initial breakdown of proteins. The food is allowed in very small quantities into the small intestine, where the pancreas secretes amylase, lipase, and protease into the small intestine to mix with the food, and the gallbladder secretes bile, and the bile passes down through the bile duct, through the pancreas into the small intestine. Bile is secreted to help process fat. So it's this rich blend of gastric acid, pancreatic enzymes, and bile that is blended together in your pet's small intestine to facilitate excellent digestion and absorption. That's how things are supposed to happen. When things don't happen that way, when there's not adequate gastric acid, when there's not adequate digestive enzymes, and when there's not adequate gallbladder production of bile, maldigestion, malabsorption occurs. And this happens very, very regularly in dogs and cats. So what are the symptoms? Well, lack of gastric acid. You can have acid reflux, a belchy pet, dogs and cats that eat and then 4 or 5 hours later throw up undigested food. Those are symptoms that your pet is having malabsorption, maldigestion. A lack of digestive enzymes means that once the food gets into the small intestine, you can end up seeing a lot of gas, bloating, pinging, gurgling. Oftentimes, you can end up with a lot of pets that have abdominal pain or cramping. And then, of course, 4 or 5 hours later, the poop that is produced can be very foul, very stinky. You can see undigested food in the stool. And if the gallbladder is not secreting enough bile, you can actually see steatorrhea, which is fat, kind of a light tan, greasy, stinky stool from undigested fat. So all of these symptoms come together to let you know that in one way or another, your pet's experiencing maldigestion or malabsorption. So what I'll share with you is, from my perspective as a veterinarian, is that the majority of pets in the United States are not only enzyme deficient, that's just biomechanically because their pancreases simply can't secrete enough enzymes, but the average pet's also on an entirely processed diet, which means our dogs and cats eat an all canned food diet or an all dry food diet, which is okay but dead, inorganic, and overprocessed. So any remaining enzymes that were present in the living foods are now devoid because those foods are processed at high temperatures, which of course inactivate the enzymes. So what's my recommendation? I wholeheartedly believe that most pets in the United States that are not eating an organic, all living raw diet need enzyme supplementation. And even those pets eating excellent foods that are raw, living, and organic, because we're not feeding entrails and guts, that even those pets actually benefit from digestive enzyme supplementation. So quite honestly, up until now, I've had a very hard time finding a perfect enzyme because many pets have different issues going on. But I'm so proud to announce that MercolaHealthyPets.com has blended a perfect enzyme, not only for dogs and cats that are experiencing digestive upset, the pets that are belchy, farty, gassy, the pets that have recurrent GI issues, minor loose stools, stinky stools, kitties that have recurrent hairballs, but they've blended the perfect enzyme because it has gastric acid support, amylase, lipase, and protease, as well as gallbladder support, all blended in one product. So my recommendation, not only for the pets that have symptoms right now of gastrointestinal malabsorption, maldigestion, but all of you that are interested in creating abundant health in your animals, that you consider adding digestive enzymes to your pet's diet, regardless of what they're eating. And what you will find is that with the addition of the ability for your pet to be able to process food better, you can potentially bump your pet from an area of getting by and surviving to thriving just by increasing the digestive processes in your pet.